should have a good setup. Yeah. All right, so let's go live. So it seems like we're going live. It just makes YouTube. Okay, so guys, welcome back to another episode of Box Mining here. It is the 15th of January. It's kind of crazy, huh? We're midway through the month already. It's like just feels like we just started. But anyway, so welcome back to another episode of the Box Mining live stream. Today we have a huge update on what's happening on the cryptocurrency scene. And guys, I'm happy to do this episode because I mean, last time on Monday we were there for the big crash, right? The big red candle downwards. It almost feels like a month ago, right? It feels like such a long time ago, but we were there to witness that huge dump that happened on Monday. But right now, we pretty much fully recovered. And yet again, we're almost to that point where we could have a second breakout. So we'll talk a little bit about this current market and conditions. Definitely, of course, with decentralized finance, everything has been breaking out recently. I was just like, whoa, look at that. It feels like what was happening on the market was that DeFi was having its day, right? Decentralized finance. You got like your Yearn finance, your big ones, your synthetics. They were about to have their day, but then the Ethereum prices has crashed down, taking down that kind of market and the mood. So now it seems like we're back. We're resuming that whole DeFi scene. So, anyways, there's a lot of excitement going on. And recently I've been super busy catching up with a lot of that's happening on the news front. So we got tons of news like Bitfinex. We got even like Tether FUD. A lot of people were asking me. I don't know why this is. Like this circulates and this happens every single wave. It's just like the Tether FUD wave again every single time. Like what when the market is like when the market's chill, no one talks about Tether FUD. But when the market moves, oh my god, everyone's freaking out about Tether. So we'll talk about Tether in this episode as well. We'll be taking a look at everything everyone's talking about. Huge pump, trust in the pump. We got the huge dump, trust in the dump coming as well. There's like these funny Twitter things going on. Definitely, I feel like there's sometimes when crypto does become a religion. So believe in the dump, guys. Just joking. But anyways, so we are talking about that. We also got a comment from Decentral Leo says Tether FUD is so bullish. I definitely agree too. Like it's not all right. Anyways, I'll leave it to the full episode's coverage. Guys, welcome here. Also, guys, I think I've seen a few people talk about or they're requesting shorter videos, right? So they want these live streams are a little bit long. So what you guys can do, and we it's kind of like a hidden secret here, but if you guys check out Boxmining clips, so this is where we kind of take the clips and just get like smaller episodes here. So this project kind of started, but we're just cutting out smaller segments of this video which are very specific to a single topic, and I found that to be very useful for some people. So anyways, that's that's also live as well, so just make sure you guys check that out if you guys want shorter clips. And with that, guys, that's pretty much we're ready to start, and let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at the market first of all. So yesterday we almost had Bitcoin touching $40,000. Holy crap! Yet again, that we're fast approaching 40K. Like last night, I was just wondering, will Bitcoin make it? Will Bitcoin not? So it seems like we did try to touch it, but we didn't pass 40K. So that's kind of the big barrier that we've been seeing. That's the wall that Bitcoin needs to break at this current point. We got Ethereum also pushing up as well. So if you just take a look, so we'll take a look at the majors and then we'll take a look at the alts, because the alts are kind of crazy. I mean, you see numbers like Polkadot moving 25% in a day. It's pushing to $15. Holy crap. Right, there's a lot of action. Chainlink as well at $18 trying to push. Anyways, so we'll talk about altcoins, but we'll talk about the majors first, about what's happening and the action when it comes to Bitcoin. So we're taking a look at the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin over here, and this is kind of the story of the week, right? So we had Bitcoin, all right. There's definitely substantial resistance at around 40K, 41K level, right? This is something that we did see before previously on early January when that excitement was building up, when everyone was coming back from the vacation, now talking about Bitcoin, now buying a little bit of Bitcoin. That was kind of the retail FOMO that we saw early on in January. And then the dumps came, right? The dumps, all of a sudden that dump came. We watched that live on Monday. And then we have the markets kind of this full-on V-shaped recovery coming back into play. And then we see that some resistance kind of building up around 40K. Now, this is actually quite interesting because we need to kind of pass 40K and 41K in order to break out into that new area. But what's interesting is that we're now moving to the Asian markets. And something a lot of people have been kind of noticing previously, right, is that previously when it comes to the Asian time zone, because right now it is 11 a.m. here, it's morning here. I have curtains on so you don't see the light anymore. It's kind of playing around with the lights, but it is morning, bright and early out there. But in the Asian time zone, it's sometimes things don't go so well, right? So over the past few months, things were like dipping during the Asian session, but throughout this few months, right? For not this few months, these few weeks rather, Asian market has been a lot more bullish. So towards the afternoon, that's what I've been noticing is that the markets are moving up quite substantial amounts, and this is actually quite true. I've been getting this information from the Bitcoin Center in Hong Kong. Here, there's a lot more people registering. There's a lot more trade activity, and there's a lot more excitement in the Asian zone as well. And this isn't just in Hong Kong, but also in China and also in Thailand, in Southeast Asia, in Korea even, there is a lot more excitement than usual. So instead of people dumping their bags, right, emptying their bags out in the morning, there's substantial FOMO now at this current point. So I'm actually quite bullish at this current point. So what's good is that the market did let off some steam. That's amazing, right? Let the market let off some steam so we have room to grow, right? The room for the entire market to grow beyond 40K. Oh, crazy, right? That's a good, like that's somewhat of a good feeling. I mean, obviously, I think something that's also driving the growth of Bitcoin at this current point is how screwed up this world is right now. It kind of sucks to say this, Bitcoin moves up because of instability in the world, and the world is super unstable right now. This is stupid, right? Because I don't really go into American politics much, right? But it seems like such a big shit show. Like that's the only time I can really say that. Like people are complaining about me swearing on this channel, but it's a super big shit show. Like that it's like for us, right? Like I'm not in America. I'm not involved in American politics. I don't really care for American politics. But boy, is it just a madhouse over there. And with the new stimulus check being printed as well, the US dollar is not a really good place to be right now. I think that's kind of the worry for this year. And we'll have to see it. This is why Bitcoin's the argument for Bitcoin is becoming stronger and stronger every single day. So it kind of sucks that the world has to be in this state. I mean, like, I hope it's not, right? But at the same time, I think a lot of people are discovering the weaknesses in politics right now. That's kind of the problem right now. Now, we also have Ethereum. So let me just throw out Ethereum here. Let me just put out the chart. ETH is actually performing quite well too. Let me just throw that on. All right. So ETH also that V-shaped recovering coming through. It's almost like wait, no, that's not ETH. That's not ETH. That's not ETH, you scam. All right, give me a second. Let me load the ETH chart. I'm like, why does it look exactly the same? Didn't we just cover this like a second ago? Anyways, let me get this on here, right? It's not loading properly. All right, ETH USD. All right, so ETH USD also had kind of that V-shaped recovery that we see, but it's a little bit more pronounced, right? So ETH, we did actually touch one. So yeah, let me just get that up, right? So it looks the same time. It's pretty much the same graph, right? It's pretty much the same chart. It's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's happening here right now. So generally, when I look at charts, I kind of look at where we are at, and so ETH tried to touch 1300. So ETH, that was kind of before the big had dumped down. So congrats to anyone who did manage to pick up sub $1,000 ETH because we did have quite a strong recovery. So we're at the strong recovery phase right now. Yet again, we're trying to look to see if there's any resistance at around 1300. That's kind of where we're looking at. And that's where we're going to eye for a breakout. I'm kind of quite optimistic today. I mean, Asian markets seem to be quite responding quite well, coupled with the fact that this whole world is in a shit show right now. Yeah, it feels like US dollar is such a dangerous place to be right now. I feel like, yeah, if you're in fiat, like, before I used to roll my eyes, right, when people are like, "Oh man, I'm gonna throw away some garbage fiat," but it's starting to make a little bit more sense now, to be honest. Yeah, it's not a great place to be. Not a great place to be. All right, guys. So that's kind of the look at where we are at right now. Guys, we have 600 something people here. Do smash up the likes. Let's get to 300 likes today. So if you're coming in, if you're just enjoying the channel, if you're watching it, do smash up those likes. It really does help. And if you guys want more regular updates like this, make sure you click subscribe, hit that notification bell because we do have some spontaneous live streams coming in covering the latest news in crypto. There will be a lot in crypto as well. And of course, we're going to continue today on to our next few topics. So just a general look at the web on everything right now. So it's the year of the dot, it seems like. So Polkadot has been rallying very, very strong for the past few months even. I mean, we saw Polkadot launch at around $3. People didn't really know what it is, but we do know that China loves Polkadot. China is like crazy about Polkadot. It is the biggest China pump. If you're talking about pumps, it's the biggest China pump, right? So now there's so much excitement. So every time, something that's kind of interesting is that there's roughly like 300 known projects building in Polkadot, probably 3,000 if you include the smaller ones. It is going to be crazy this year. So we're going to definitely cover Polkadot. And recently, of all the projects I'm speaking to, so I'm definitely speaking to a lot of projects with Genesis Block Ventures. I'm part of Genesis Block Ventures. I go with their investment talks and stuff. They're roughly half the projects are going on Polkadot. So it's kind of insane, right? The growth of Polkadot and where it's going. Now, why Polkadot? What's interesting about Polkadot is that with Polkadot, instead of having everyone build on top of Polkadot, what Polkadot allows people to do is allows them to make their own blockchain using something called Substrate. So this actually solves a congestion issue, right? If everyone, instead of building on top, it's like okay, this is the best analogy for what Polkadot does. So Ethereum, you can imagine as a big city, right? The streets are very congested right now. Transactions are very expensive because the streets are just like gridlocked, right? Everyone's building on top of Ethereum. There's so much action here. Everyone wants to, the moment something exciting happens, all the streets just gets jammed up. Gas consumption goes up the roof. Transactions expensive. But what Polkadot does is it kind of has like a city builder kit. If you guys want to make your own blockchain, if you guys want to make your own city, sure, go ahead. So that kind of solves the congestion issue by having everyone having their individual city. And then Polkadot itself serves as kind of the linker, right? The big highway that connects every major city up together. So I guess that's kind of a good analogy for what's happening with Polkadot, their design philosophy. And that's why a lot of projects building on Polkadot, like RioChain or whatnot, they have their own blockchain being built with Substrate. So they have their own city kit ready to build their own city, and they can have their own congestion. Like if they want to create congestion and create mess, well, they can create it in their own city, right? That's kind of how it goes at this current state. But anyways, lots of going on. We also have Chainlink. So basically, the DeFi wave is back on again. Cosmos is moving up again. So definitely asymmetrical today. So if you look at everything, we got Voyager token up there, number one. But if you look and rank the top 100 and you look at the positive versus the negative, you can definitely see it's very, very asymmetrical today. A lot of coins are moving up. You got your Nexus Mutual, your Sushi, your Doge, your Avalanche. Algorand is also moving up. Oh my god, it's been quite crazy. So today is a really great day for alts. Actually, it's a good day for alts. Yeah, everything but zero collateral DAI, it seems like, but that's also a rebase coin, so it doesn't really count. Parsec is up all the way up there. It's a kind of a crazy time right now. Definitely awesome. So yeah, so lots of optimism, positivity right now at this current point, especially for everything going around here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I was gonna make a joke with the DeFi pump guides, but I think I'm gonna refrain from that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover the core issue today. So the core issue I'm gonna put there as Tether. All right, I'm gonna put that up there because everyone was asking about Tether and Tether FUD and everything about this. So, all right, let's do that, and then we'll do the crypto news. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about the most important topic. Everyone was talking about Tether FUD. So what is Tether FUD? Is Tether something to just enrich Bitcoin investors? Oh my God, this thing comes up, and there's actually substantial bite to it. I mean, there is an investigation by the U.S. Attorney General on Tether/Bitfinex, so the same company, and there's a lot of question marks appearing. Right. And this problem is actually growing year over year. So if you look at the market cap of Tether, that's how much Tether there is in the world. Tether is now the number 3 cryptocurrency in the world right now at this current point. And then at the same time, the market cap is $24 billion. All right. So in theory, with Tether, if you look at their website and then, if you believe what they are saying, right? So this is kind of the issue. If you believe what they're saying, they're supposed to be transparent and there's meant to be a proof of funds. So every single dollar that is actually issued or by Tether should be backed by $1, should be the key operative. But people call this to question. I mean, is that proof enough? Have they ever been, do they ever have a third party trusted audit of Tether? And this is the problem because there isn't, right? So Tether themselves, they put out information and say, okay, look, we audit ourselves. Right, cool. We can prove to you that we have this money because we audit ourselves. Ha ha ha. But that's like leaving the rabbits in charge of the lettuce, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everyone can say, I can claim, oh yeah, I have this money. It's cool, right? Trust me. But how much should you trust them, right? So right now there is a pending investigation by the U.S. Attorney General over Tether, and where are the funds? Now, something that's quite interesting about Tether is that this issue can never be resolved, right? So right now, why is this FUD building? Is that this seems to happen every single bull wave, and people are really looking to like the kind of the investigation by the U.S. Attorney General to say, oh look, okay, like there's some problem there. But as we know, all lawsuits will take a long time to resolve, right? It's not going to be resolved immediately. It might drag on. Remember Mt. Gox? All right, I bring this up because that's an exchange that went defunct and went through the legal process. And still, after 4 or 5 years, it's still nothing's done. And this is the thing with the legal procedure, right? But crypto, we operate in the space of days, weeks, months, but not years or decades, right? So it tends to be the case that comes back every single time. And I'm not really going to put a strong opinion here. Like, I feel like this is a situation where you'll never be able to resolve this issue unless Tether really does have a full audit. But that doesn't seem to be going to happen anytime this year. So here's my view on it. Tether FUD always comes back into crypto. And this is a sign that the bull markets are coming. Because now people need, there's people who, if they haven't seen this, if they haven't seen enough of this Tether FUD, it's like it comes back every single year. So I feel like, okay, look, the resolution's always the same. We don't know, right? But for anyone who's new in crypto, they're always very concerned. There's arguments to both sides, right? One of the arguments for Tether being, nothing is that they never provided formal audits and they're being investigated by U.S. Attorney General. But the counter argument is that China loves Tether, right? Right now, most of the volume that's happening, most of the issuance that's happening is with Chinese markets. The reason why is because China doesn't have direct access to the US dollar. So something like Tether becomes such a powerful tool for the Chinese, both to enter crypto markets and also to just have a little bit of freedom, to have exposure to USD as well. So the arguments can build on both sides, and every single time, right? This is every single time. It never gets resolved because we can never, unless we have that full audit, it can never be resolved. And that full audit needs to be done every single day, right? If you think about it, $24 billion is a lot of money. And technically speaking, just because you can audit once doesn't mean it'll always be there forever, right? This is the problem of centralization. So it can't really be resolved until we have crypto versions of stablecoins, or until, I mean, we are seeing that, right? We're seeing DAI, we've seen SUSD, we're seeing algorithmic stablecoins. Check out that video. But honestly, this kind of FUD wave, if you've been around in crypto, this comes every single bull wave, right? There are times when Tether prices will dip, right? There's times when Tether prices can dip to 92 cents. I've seen that before, and I had some friends that made like a lot of money, right, off this. Because what happens is that when Tether FUD comes and people freak out, Tether prices drop. But what happens is that during that time when Tether prices drop, some people who have access to, especially shareholders of Bitfinex, I do know a few of those. If they were lucky enough to invest in Bitfinex and they have they have active bank accounts, what they do is they just buy Tether and then they withdraw USD. All right, so they just send that back to Tether and then withdraw that USD, and then they just churn this. It's kind of crazy, the last full FUD wave. So that's my opinion, guys. So it comes back. We've seen it come back many times. It will never ever get resolved in crypto. I do not ever click on buttons. I don't ever click on any of these news updates because it just recycles the same thing. And many times I'm like a broken record holder. Like I'm like a broken record player, kind of constantly repeating the same crap, right? We don't know, right? And that's the unfortunate side effect. It makes a lot of people very uncomfortable in this space. People want to know what's happening, but honestly speaking, we don't know. Right, we do not know, right? There's arguments for and against. If you guys are afraid of using Tether this year, a lot of stuff has been moving. So for example, USDC, right? USDC, it's the market cap is not as big, but it's done by guys from Circle. So actually not Circle, Coinbase. But yeah, so there's Coinbase version of the US dollar. So that's becoming a little bit more popular. If you guys are really concerned, Paxos is meant to be super legit, Paxos standard, but no one really cared about it. So, I guess market cap is like it's puny. It's nothing. But there are other stable coins out there, and crypto is going to survive the FUD regardless. There's always been accusations that Tether is just printing off millions and millions of dollars. But honestly, I'll tell you this, guys, if Chinese volume comes, they have to go through Tether. So that's why in the Asian markets, we're nowhere near as concerned about Tether as everyone else. We actually see that there's a lot of real Chinese volume, and they do go through Tether a lot. So we're not too concerned about Tether printing off a lot of money. There's actually a lot of money flowing into crypto too. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Especially a lot of people who don't know what's happening in Asian markets, they should not comment on Asian markets. Just my 2 cents, right? So anyways, Morning Saint says Bitfinex is associated to Tether. Yes. So technically, they are two separate legal entities, but definitely the U.S. Attorney General already said these guys are the same guys. It's the same CEO, CTO. Come on, guys. You are the same people, okay? Bitfinex, Tether, same guys, all right? That's already been kind of established. Kevin Sandu says, you want proof that you can trust Tether? The thing is, it's not about trusting Tether or not. It's just something that I think like the viewpoint I want to be like, I don't want Tether to become a religion either. It's like, it's a tool, right? It's a tool that a lot of people use. And it's a very useful tool, right? That's why the Tether market cap has been growing. But definitely speaking, there needs to be a replacement sometime for Tether, but it's just a matter of when. But anyways, yeah. So Tether has always had these dips as well. So just be cautious. Like it does happen, right? So it does happen in the past. Like let's say 2017, this exact same thing happened in April of 2017. Tether FUD. Oh my God, look at Tether dropping below $1. Look at it dropping to 92 cents right there. And then we have the same thing happen, like a big run up. So like it's kind of crazy. You get this run up FOMO, and then Tether prints more Tether, and then people freak out. Tether drops to 95 cents, another Tether FUD wave. So every time it drops below $1, it's most likely caused by a FUD wave, people freaking out. Oh my God, Tether, something crazy happens. And then yeah, Tether goes back to normal. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But anyways, I don't pay attention to it, honestly. It's not worth my time. Like, I think a lot of people, especially Western audience, they love this, right? They love this. They love this Tether FUD, and I don't know. It's just it's so boring. It's not really interesting, right? That's my 2 cents. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. Let me take a quick look at the comments section. Do you guys think the same things? We got Angela Wang. Oh no, bad puns are coming. Golden Crypto Supreme says it is a tool, and that's it. Absolutely. Um, Morning Saint says, "Wow, 92 cents. Have other stables experienced such a swing?" Man, with Tether FUD, it's crazy. Like some people benefited crazy amounts. Honestly, during that Tether FUD period, there were people making like 6, 7 figures just doing Tether arbitrage. It was a crazy time. So just be mindful, right? If you dump Tether at 90 cents, enjoy, or be prepared for something like this. It will happen again. Like we know it, right? This is like when we're approaching onto a bull run. There's so many shaky hands out there, and people love shaking those shaky hands, right? Like people love swinging that tree. And last time there was substantial FUD with the U.S. Attorney General investigation, but what happened was pretty much they managed to raise like $600 million in Chinese markets, right? It's kind of it's like an insane story if you say it. But anyways, there's actually a lot of things wrong with it. It is a very useful tool. It is very flawed as a tool as well. I'm not going to support it, but at the same time, I'm not going to FUD it either. I feel like that's my stance. I frankly don't care about it. Like I'm prepared. If Tether does drop, it's fine. Like if I ever go to stables, I always have this year, right? Especially with decentralized finance, you have these pools on Curve, etc., right? And these pools kind of are supposed to balance it out. Heck, if you look at reserve rights, and we also have, what was the other one again? Meta stable, right? All these all these coins are meant to deal with the flawed nature of Tether. So, anyways, I'm not too concerned about it, but yeah, I feel like it's bound to pop up over time. Kevin Sandu says, "I'm in Asia and huge amounts of Tether flows and is used here." Absolutely. Volley Monster says, "What are good sources for the Asian markets?" Just come to Asia. Yeah, fly over to Asia, check it out. It's great. The biggest issue I feel like with Asian markets and these global markets is that news sources are really bad, honestly, for Asian markets. News sources, typically speaking, especially news sources catering to Western audiences, are horrific. Because a lot of what happens in Asian markets cannot be written down. Right, this is the biggest issue with Asian markets, is that because a lot of it is in the gray area, no one writes about the gray area. So a lot of people get very flawed information, and really the only way to get better information, like this is truth. I would love to promote a bunch of news sources and then make money off that, right? But the truth here is that Asian markets, you gotta be locally in Asia, and that's the only way companies have ever succeeded in the Asian market, is if they have people on the ground. Same thing, if you want to have accurate information on ground, check this channel out. We do reveal some of it, but some of it I cannot disclose either. It's just the way it is, right? I'm just telling that out for you guys right now. A lot of stuff that's being spoken, especially, that's how Asian markets operate, right? So, Morning Saints says, "I love gray." It's just the way Asian markets work. So, some to be culture says Asian PTSD from 2017 to 18. Anyways, okay, so let's continue on to the news segment. So let's do a news segment, and then we'll do an altcoin segment, because everyone seems to be asking about this coin or that coin. So let's do a very quick look at what is happening. So we got guys at TrustSwap. TrustSwap has joined forces with Shopping.io. So they're allowing TrustSwap to be spent at places like Walmart and Amazon. That's super cool. So congrats to Jeff. Full disclosure, I'm an advisor to TrustSwap. This has been in the works for such a long time, and it's kind of cool, right? You can go into Walmart. I mean, this is something that, yet again, I can't experience, but I can be excited for, which is to say, yes, if I can ever go to Walmart, I will try to use my TrustSwap there to spend with Shopping.io. In terms of the other community as well, we have DuckDAO. So DuckDAO, I'm also part of the DuckDAO thing. DuckDAO, they're taking a partnership with Stakenet. So Stakenet is a layer 2 Lightning exchange. So they're super, super cool. They've also been launching Stakenet on Bitfinex. So this is a recent launch, a recent partnership with DuckDAO. And they're pretty excited for that. This is like something that's like very, very exciting to happen. And I think that's the exciting part about this year too. There's so much developments with kind of how layer 2 scaling is working right now. There's going to be a lot more coverage on this channel, so stay tuned. But lots of developments on that end. Now, we also have Animoca brand, so they're partnering with Binance Smart Chain to move forward. Lots of stuff on the gaming front. So Animoca brands, if you guys don't know, Yat's there. They make Rev. They're also big investors into CryptoKitties. Huge developments on the gaming front this year. I'm actually very excited. And if you'll actually look at my Twitter, I've been posting a lot of thoughts about how to get mainstream crypto gaming adoption. That's gonna be a big focus. It has also been a big challenge as well. Going into this year, I was very early into Engine. I want crypto gaming to work because that's a huge way for people to get the benefits of crypto trading, and also not just crypto trading, trustless trading, right? But also at the same time get them exposure to crypto. That's great. But at the same time, it has been such a big challenge, right? We've been talking about this for such a long time. Well, upcoming, we've got a few videos talking about the design aspect. So not just the technology aspect. I think the tech aspect will be solved much earlier than the design aspect. Coming from my experience in the gaming industry, I've been there for 7 years, and also I've been big economics guy in video games. So sharing some of that insight with you guys and to see what's happening. My hopes is that people will take that insight and make better games. But fingers crossed, we'll see what happens instead of just crazy stuff. We also have some very, very interesting stuff on the side. So we got Injective protocol. They're launching the first ever Tesla futures trading on their Solstice net. So if you don't know, Injective is a very fast derivatives exchange, right? They built their own custom blockchain, right, to handle trading situations, and they're trading on derivatives, and they're allowing stocks, the futures of Tesla. So this is something that's also very cool. It's nowhere getting the attention that it should. All right, because in crypto markets, we can take trading to the next level, right? And that's what we're doing. We're taking trading to the next level, but the mainstream audience, they don't realize that yet. So I feel like this is the kind of a cool thing we get to experience in crypto, where yes, we already have derivatives for Tesla, or we can already have 24-hour trading markets. I mean, if you look at FTX right now, like the same thing goes, right? If you're interested in Tesla and trading and stuff, like you can already trade Tesla on FTX, right? But and it's a 24-hour market. It's a crypto market. My crypto markets are always open. There's some certain beauty to it. But anyways, so I feel like that's kind of happening. That's boiling in the background, and yeah, so that's that's super exciting. We also have Poolz. Poolz is going live. It's actually going live today. So Poolz is let's see. Let me just see. They're launching on Uniswap today, and let's just get everything right. So Poolz is a liquidity. They're adding the liquidity. They're going there. So they're launching today. It's going to be super exciting. So yet again, Poolz has been one of the launch projects for the DuckDAO community, guys. So super exciting stuff going on. I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about Poolz very soon. So stay tuned about that. All right, some bad news, some weirdo stuff, but Ledger admits user data leaked amid the Shopify incident of April and June 2020. So what's happening over there? So Ledger has been pretty shite, let's be honest here. So this really sucks, but I'm not part of Tether. This is why I'm very critical about Ledger as well. Ledger's hack isn't based on their device itself. This is where I want to make sure my language is very clear here. So the device itself is safe, but what was hacked was the customer databases, right? So they were using Shopify. So this is a tool for them to do their merchants e-commerce site. So basically when you go on the ledger.com and you make an order, that's through Shopify. So apparently some rogue employee, they're blaming some rogue employee on this. Apparently, the leak of the data, some rogue employee copied customer data. So that includes phone numbers, emails, and also delivery addresses, home addresses. And they leaked that out. So that was like a complete shit show, right? That caused me to be like super angry for a weekend too. You can check out the video there. So yeah, that kind of really sucks. And apparently new information was also leaked too. Apparently another 20,000 issues were leaked. This is just complete bullshit. I don't know why they had our consumer data there. Um, yeah, some people are filing a class action suit. Like, seriously, guys, seriously, get your act straight. Delete people's data from your addresses. Like, this is just stupid. And we're gonna cover more security in the future. I think this is, yeah, this just like I get angry. I get angry. I'm not gonna be like emotional here, but it's just the dumbest thing in the world. So, anyways, they admit to leak the data. Apparently, there's extra data that was leaked. So apparently, a new 20,000 new users were leaked. So the best website to check is haveibeenpwned.com. Haveibeenpwned.com, and yeah, that's a good website for checking out. You just enter your email there. This website has been around for a long time. This is why I'm using it. But yeah, I'm just, use trusted websites here. But if you search that and your passwords have been pwned in the past, I have been getting emails where people have been hacked, especially people who don't understand security. That's a side effect of crypto, right? Crypto transactions are not reversible. A lot of times they can go to anonymous addresses. It's ripe for hackers, guys. It's ripe for hackers. There's been a lot of hacking events recently. Do stay secure. A lot of people feel like, at the end of the day, why do you have a hardware wallet? Well, it's because if your computer is breached, if your computer security is breached, it's another layer of protection because you disconnect that, the device itself cannot be hacked, right? The same thing goes with the YubiKey. A few people, it's kind of funny, right? So I released that video. A few people was like, oh, disclose your sponsorships and stuff. Actually, I didn't get sponsored. And in fact, Ubi themselves actually messaged me. They're like, oh, do you want to put an affiliate link on your video? I'm like, maybe later. But yeah, I didn't have an affiliate link. I did not have a sponsorship from UB, but it's kind of important with these hardware security elements. Like, hardware security means that if your computer is breached, if you like the worst thing, right? I just want to rant for give me 2 seconds, 2 minutes to rant here. So something that I've experienced firsthand is when I went to the Hacken conference. So Hacken had a Hacken is a security firm, right? And they had a security conference. And something that I experienced there was I felt very naked. You kind of realize that with modern computing, especially with Windows PCs, they are so vulnerable. Like, you click on a wrong website, your computer can be breached, right? Like, it can be breached, and there might be a 0-day hack there that people haven't discovered. And then you just browse a website, boom, someone takes control over it. And then what people can do is they can attack the memory of your computer and change cryptocurrency addresses. They can try to find your passwords. They can try to find your accounts. They can addresses. It is scary. Like, the way that hackers can really screw the system up for everyone, it's just insane, right? Like, even just for example, like, it makes you feel naked because the other example, the very visual example, I'll just tell you the story. But like, you go to a hotel, right? Like, a lot of times you go to a hotel, you think you're safe, right? Especially you go to like a nicer hotel, you feel, oh, that's safe, that's no problem, right? But a lot of times what people can do is, like, these hackers are like, oh, I'll show you a video how you can like open someone's door in like 5 seconds. And they can do that, right? Because a lot of times, even in fancy hotels, the door can open from the inside, right? So what these hackers do is they literally have a coat rack. They shove that coat rack under the door. They latch that coat rack onto the handle from inside, and they just pull it. So it takes literally like 5 seconds. Like, they built, there's hackers and people who like do security experts. They built these devices and then just like shove it there, clip onto the door, open your door, they're inside. Like, that's how vulnerable. Like, that's a good analogy and a good example of how vulnerable this world is. I mean, every time you go to a hotel, like, if the door can open from inside, you're vulnerable, right? Someone could just open your door in 5 seconds and take anything inside, your laptops or anything. Same thing goes with computers. Computers are extremely vulnerable because they can do a lot of stuff. So essentially, your Windows computer, that's already been like having like a million viruses in there already. And this is why you need extra hardware protection. I think a lot of people don't understand this, but anyways, I'm just gonna rant about it. But literally, your computer is like a hotel room. Like, hackers can easily enter that, and you just gotta be paranoid and secure. It's crazy. Patrick Kwok says lock picking lawyer. That's a great channel to watch. Like, absolutely check that out. Like, all these locks are not safe. Like, 15 seconds, literally, lock picking lawyer. He just breaks into a lock. Like, boom, done. Like, peace. Morning Saint says that's how Apple protects your iCloud dirty pics. Exactly. You think of all these hacks that have happened. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's my rant for today, and that's where you gotta make sure, like, the problem with crypto is you're in charge of your own security, right? No one else is gonna teach you how to do it. It's like Inception, right? They don't have anyone to train your mind against theft. You gotta train it yourself. Anyway, bad example. All right, so all right, so that's pretty much it. And then we have global politics going crazy again. Oh yeah, or this one. Um, yeah, we got some Ripple news. Not sure if this is interesting. Ripple security news. Obviously, people look at this, but yet at the same time, these lawsuits can go on for years and decades, and I don't know. So, anyways, Biden to nominate former CTFC chief Gary Gelsner as the SEC head. Tough case for Ripple? Question mark. Yet again, it might be tough. It might be the case that we're gonna have some tough legislation coming soon. That seems to be on the horizon. I think there's so much craziness going on in crypto that we kind of need it. But anyways, we also have Chinese hospital to issue the first electronic bill on the blockchain. China's moving really quickly on the blockchain. This is pretty much given. The whole of last year, China was moving very fast on blockchain and on their currency, DCEP, digital currency electronic payment. That has been moving like super fast and something you got to pay attention to. But yeah, I think I've been saying that for a long time. Guys, do look it up. I think I sound like a broken record, and it's something that I've like said so many times that you know it's gonna be crazy. um all right, so this is the alternate view on Biden's appointment of this SEC pick. So it does seem to be the case that this guy might be tough on Ripple but easy on crypto. I don't know with these things, right? Like, we'll wait until this guy actually comes on board and actually does enact regulation. I think this is all speculation prior to everything going forward, but anyways, fun times ahead. Finally, we got this was a big mess, right? So Twitter's Jack Dorsey admits internet companies have way too much power and praises Bitcoin as a model to change that. Dude, this week was crazy, right? So the thing that went on with Parler. So this is so politically charged. It's not even funny. But Parler, I was reading about it, right? Like, excuse my ignorance because I'm not a user of Parler, nor do I actively even try to touch American politics because that's such a shit show. It's not even worth my time. But at the end of the day, the way that Parler was banned was that like they got removed by tech companies. Um, so AWS refused to host them. App stores refused, remove their apps. Like, all right, there's a lot of hypocrisy here, right? Obviously, there's a lot of things wrong with Parler and inciting violence, etc. I'm not going to cover that. But at the same time, if you think about it, I think YouTube and Google, they did the exact same thing. Right? YouTube just hosted anything and everything, right? Parler itself is a platform, right? There's going to be good discussion, there's going to be bad discussion. The issue is how do you filter that out, right? But the way that it was removed, I feel like it's very hypocritical because obviously, the dark side of YouTube, the early days of YouTube, there was a lot of trash there too. There was a lot of violence on YouTube too. But at the same time, YouTube never censored itself, right? YouTube never said, oh, Google never said, oh, ha ha ha, I'm gonna ban YouTube. Ha ha ha. Didn't do that. Um, I feel like politics aside, right? Um, there needs to be the way tech companies responded there really showed how much power they have over everything. That's going to be the biggest concern. I think that's where I'm very worried about for things going forward. Big tech. Um, Amateur gamer says, "What do you think about Alex Jones? You think if you try to teach him about Bitcoin, he'll buy or go bazooka?" I don't know, man. I think, uh, like, I think he's a great influencer, but at the same time, I think he's running a good business off certain individuals too. Um, that's kind of the scary part, right? Like, um, media is such a scary animal, I would say. A lot of times they have the right ideas going into things, but the money gets overwhelming. Um, and then either the money or the views or the fame, it gets bad. And I've seen that firsthand with a lot of stuff that happens on YouTube. This year I've actually like made a conscious effort to move more to the investing side than on YouTube side. Like I try to do these videos like Monday and Friday, and try to do one or two videos to fill the channel up. But I feel like I'm very behind on the YouTube game, to be honest, and like it's unfortunate. But I feel like for me, I want to be on a tech side. I want to be that seems to be more compelling, to be honest. Not that I don't like you guys, right? But at the same time, I feel like if I focus on the YouTube side, where, if all my money comes from YouTube or from sponsorships or from something else, it makes a very unpleasant channel. So yeah, that's where kind of the focus. I've been more kind of on the other side, which is the investment side. Yeah, that kind of worked out pretty well last year too. So anyways, I feel like Alex Jones did fall down the thing where he wants views, he wants likes, he wants virality, and I'm not sure if that's the best way for crypto forward. So kind of just to analyze it, because there's a lot of value, right? Beyond the sensation of crypto, right? Because a lot of times when I first saw crypto, there was a lot of sensation, there was a lot of like stuff that you will roll your eyes with, but at the core, Bitcoin makes a lot of sense, right? A lot of logical, very clean, logical sense, and that's where, like for me, that's what's attractive. But yeah, that's gonna come out sooner or later. So there's a lot of talk about DX sale. I think there's a lot of DX sale fans on here. So guys, yeah, check that out. Why not? I actually haven't checked out too much about DX sale. Feel like I missed a boat on that one, to be honest. But you know what? I think they're actually doing quite a lot. So that'd be fun. Ooh, I'm tired today. I'm being really tired recently. I feel like like this whole week I've been kind of just like eyeing the markets a lot. I've been trying to take breaks in the middle as well, but I'm trying to eye the markets a lot. And there's always that flood of people, right? Like, check this out, check this out, check this out. I'm like, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I checked it out and I'm like so tired afterwards. Like, how do I keep up with this stuff, right? It's kind of infamous, Chris. Like, I talked to Charlie Lee once, right? And Charlie Lee talked about how at the start of crypto, it took an afternoon, right? So he was like, "Oh, what's this crypto thing? What's this Bitcoin thing?" He goes on a forum. Oh yeah, it's a bulletin board. Back in the day, people use bulletin boards. Half an afternoon, he reads all that information. It's done. All right, like, he understands it. He's a smart guy. And 3 days later, he writes his own Litecoin project. All right, boom. But now with the pace that crypto is doing, it's kind of crazy, right? It's taking everything to the next level. The amount of information here is definitely towards the overload side. Yesterday, I was on like 3 hours of calls. It was just like long and like it's exciting, but it's long and it takes a toll on you, right? It takes a toll on you. So that's what happens with this stuff. So, anyways. All right, last thing. So I was talking about the pool stuff. So Pools is launching today. I just wanted to give you a little bit more insight into Pools because like I wasn't very full on it. So pools they're launching today. What they're doing is they're doing cross-chain pools and auctions, and this is some of the most powerful tools available, right? So in order for every kind of blockchain to have power, so a lot of times we saw with TrustSwap they have their own launch pool. We already saw Polkadot they have their launch pool. Pools is like cross-chain, which is super powerful. So that was kind of the insight they had there. So it wasn't just with one like Ethereum platform, but now they can launch on Tomo chain. They can launch with Moonbeam. They can launch with more. They have the Polkadot logo here. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a launch platform for every one of those things. They're launching today, so we're gonna talk with them soon. But yeah, it was one of those things that I was very very interested in. And then yeah, we're gonna see more, and I'm very glad they're launching today as well. All right, cool. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I think I pretty much covered everything, including the Tether FUD and everything that's going on here. Guys, I do appreciate if you smash the likes, please. We got 273 likes. We got 1,000 people watching. Thank you guys for joining in. We got Angela Wang says, food is the answer to tiredness. Absolutely. Food coffee, tea, anything. Just shove that in. You are good. I should do a promo for this. This has been great. I've been eating these pecans recently. This is my hunger cure. It's just so good. I don't know. It's like pecans make you smarter, right? But anyways, these are really good. It's like maple flavor, so like it's like packed with flavor, and then you just eat it. Like I eat a bag a day. It's been one of the biggest reasons why I'm getting fatter. Because nuts are very, very unhealthy, but it is also super, super good. We got Jason Wu says, box mining, are you interested in ADA? ADA. I have some exposure, but I don't know. As ADA has its own stories too. ADA has its own stories too. I don't think it's not for today. Not for today. Smart altcoins says try doing it with a regular job, exhausting but worth it. Smart altcoins, absolutely. And when I started crypto, I was doing another job as well. I was doing the gaming stuff. But yeah, yeah, just quit it. I guess it's easy for me to say, but I know a lot of people who did move on to crypto full time. I still remember that scene in Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, when Jonah Hill's character was asking Leonardo DiCaprio's character. It's like, how much you earn? How much money do you make? Like they're in this cafeteria. How much money do you make? And Leo's like, 70K last month. That's it. And then Jonah Hill's character is like, you gotta be joking, right? If you show me that you make this much, I'll quit my job right now. And then Leo pulls out his pay stub. Check it out, $72,000 last month. And then GG, right? That's the motivation you gotta be in crypto, right? I'm not promoting you losing your jobs or anything, but dedication, right? Dedication. There are a lot of people who do it full time. So yeah, that's I love that scene. All right, we got Nine Streams says you aren't fat, you're beautiful. Thank you, man. Thank you, Nine Streams. Right. By the way, great job that you're doing on your stuff as well. If you guys check out gaming stuff, check out Nine Streams channel. It's really, really cool on that side. Okay, where is Ether going? What's your thoughts? Man, I have such a heavy exposure to Ether, so I don't ever say, a lot of times I don't say, I think like you guys can probably tell by the way I do episodes, I have exposure to Bitcoin, Ether, VeChain, a lot of other coins. I definitely feel it's going to go somewhere in the future, right? So a lot of times I feel like people throw out numbers out there. Right, so this is the mainstream media thing because everyone wants to hear these numbers, right? Like everyone loves to hear, like it's like a human nature, right? Like if you just bought Ethereum or you're thinking of buying Ethereum, you want to hear that it's gonna go up to 20K. Like that's what you want, right? That's what your mind wants, right? You want to feel safe, but honestly, with this one, I'm not financial advice. There's nothing about safety, right? That's for me. I've identified that. Like I want to hear someone say it's gonna go X, Y, and Z, but most of the times they're just full of crap, anyways, right? It's just like they're just saying it for the views or saying it for the likes. But honestly, I do have exposure to Ethereum. I do think it's gonna go into some crazy levels because of the technology here, but it might take some time. So I'll say that. I'm not gonna give you like crazy outrageous numbers. Otherwise, I'm gonna throw a million. Ha ha ha. I just roll my eyes usually when people say that. So that's the straight message. I do have strong exposure to Ethereum. Yeah. Numbers up. ETH to 0.2 BTC. Realistically speaking, though, for ETH, like once it passes its all-time high, all right. So ETH has not actually breached its all-time high yet. So let's like you know instead of going around in crazy levels like that, like ETH has not broken its all-time high. It is relatively weak relative. So the all-time high for ETH, let me just scroll back a little bit here. So let's put on a day chart. So all-time high, we had it at 1400. So that was all the way back in 2018 and during the full on ICO craze, right? So this was actually very much driven. So the explanation for this was that the ICO craze was raising around $1 billion per month, and a lot of that was raised in Ethereum. So that actually meant that for investors to invest into these new ICOs, they needed to have Ether, which created a huge market demand for Ether, which is why Ether just shot up like crazy, right? It went from $10 to $1,000, right? It did its a whole 100x in 2017. So this year, I feel like realistically, this year, ETH has been a lot more healthier with the growth of decentralized finance, with just the amount of stuff that's being built on top of Ethereum, not just ICOs, right? Because before it was just ICOs, it was very industry limited. But now with how decentralized finance is moving and with all the exchanges on Ethereum, like with Uniswap being on Ethereum, with that volume on Ethereum, I feel very optimistic about Ethereum. So I do feel like the next challenge for ETH is to kind of pass its all-time highs and then it can really fly. There are still risks though. I'm not gonna say $10,000. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, prediction $10,000 once it passes that." I would say that the biggest risk to Ethereum right now are the original ETH ICO contributors. So there's a huge kind of pile of ETH both sitting in consensus and Fambushi and other big funds in China. They were very early investors of Ethereum. So at what point do they cash out becomes a problem, right? So now it becomes much harder to estimate. They haven't really shown their hands much in this trading season. I do know that the big funds that do hold a lot of Ethereum, they're very conservative when it comes to trading. So they haven't really revealed themselves. But at what point do they make an exit? That becomes kind of the core point, and that would kind of very much dictate where it moves. Because if they have a million ETH sitting in their accounts, right, and this is not unusual of big Chinese funds and big Western funds. I mean, Consensus also holds a huge ton of ETH. At what time do they move? That becomes the bigger question there. So, anyways, that's pretty much answering a lot of questions. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In terms of it. I definitely appreciate the comments coming in. Lots of comments. We got respected dump guys. Marco Blas is big fans from Austin, Texas. Also, just a side note as well. Something that I've been doing on this channel is that I've been doing a few a few test videos. This is with okay, so we got yesterday's video with the advanced tips and tricks on how to save Ethereum gas fees. But we recently as well, we got some member only videos. So if you guys want to join the membership, we are gonna test a new series of videos coming on. So let's see, how do I view this? I just need to play it. I just need to okay. So members only videos. The recent one is funding rates explained. So we kind of take a look. You can see me with the fancy glasses over there. I'm trying to make a smarter series here. But this is for members only. And the experiment here is that we go and dive into kind of more complicated subjects, right? So with YouTube, generally speaking, is for mainstream audience. Something that I have to care about when making videos on YouTube is the retention time, how engaging it is, and how easy it is for people to understand. But there are topics in crypto that are extremely hard to understand, but it's very important. It kind of dictates the markets. And one of the things is funding rates. So I did a video, part one, on the videos for members only, and I'm trying to get a lot of feedback on how to build content that is harder to cover. So if you want to join membership, you can actually access. I'm trying to reply to everyone here that has like kind of feedback on these type of videos about harder to understand videos. I'm kind of creating this special series just for the members. It's a big thank you. I'm not trying to really monetize this heavily because honestly, it's a $2 thing to join the membership. But what it does give me the opportunity to do is to kind of focus on the people who really care on this channel. I kind of give you a big thank you as well to anyone who supported this channel. I know for the longest time, a lot of times the members, they just contributed for fun, right? And people got the smiley face, but I just wanted to give a little bit more value back to everyone there. So that is coming on Boxmining members only section. We're doing a little bit more content, and I'm trying quite aggressively to kind of respond to the comments and kind of figure out what people want to watch, what people want to see there. So members, kind of lots of stuff going on, and big thank you to the members as well. And with that, guys, I think that's probably there. We got at Boxmining OG King events only. We'll take a look at this. So members is split between the basic membership, the mini whales, and the OG Kings. There will be stuff that's given to OG Kings, but for now, it's like you guys are the best. I will say that. So thank you, Jason, for that. OG King events. Definitely, guys. OG Kings. Thank you, guys. Big thank you for the contributions. Really appreciate it. Super cool. Guys coming in. So yeah. Llama 666 says, I enjoy being a new OG King just for fun because I love the videos. Thank you guys so much for the support. Really appreciate that. Super respect. And we got believe crypto says glasses plus 200 IQ. Do you guys believe this? I used to wear glasses. I used to have very thick rimmed glasses. Yeah, because I'm a super nerd, right? But I got LASIK around 9 years ago. So, but yeah, glasses make me look smarter. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm like one of those guys. I'm like super laser focused. I'm like my eyes are like this. Beep boop beep. You know, super nerd. I love that shit. You can still see that when I talk about tech and stuff. Uh, that's it. The typical gamers, your thoughts on mediation? Mediation of what? I'm not sure. Thank you so much for the donation, by the way. Mediation of what? Mediation, there's a coin. I have not seen that coin if there is, but yeah, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so yeah, that was back in the past. Morning Saint says, "Do you have floaters?" Yes, I actually had 2 retinal tears, one in each eye. Yeah, that was not pleasant. So I actually see a lot of floaters. Floaters are the things like when you kind of squint, you see these things floating around. And there was a point where I got my eyes checked. So technically speaking, if you like just offhanded, if you guys have very strong was it your if your eyes are really have a strong I have both astigmatism and the other one, but anyways, if you have high degrees on your eyes, check for your eyes every like 5 years or something. Like they'll find like weird stuff in there, and then if you have a retinal tear, they have to do the laser thing to actually laser that in and make sure that doesn't tear. Yeah, not cool. You got popular like Kim K, that's why no glasses. But yeah, cool. Jason Wu says a hoodie or a t-shirt would be nice for Super Bowls. Absolutely, man. Let me get that. Let me get working on that. That would be cool. Um, Llama 666 says, at box mining, that typical gamer asks about meditation. Do you like yoga? So um, yoga's weird. I like to want to do yoga, but I'm very inflexible as a person. So I had this whole thing, right? So last year I spent not last year, 2019, I spent a long time in Bali. And I did go through like that kind of like spiritual thing, right? So for me, I'm a science guy, right? I'm a very scientific guy, but I was like, you know what? Let me just try like a little bit of meditation, those ice baths, like just stuff for the mind and spirit, right? Like, yet again, it's like for me, it's very interesting because like uh, spirituality is very difficult for me to reconcile, right? But I do believe that you do need to relax sometimes, and I mean those guys who meditate, they got it on lockdown. So yeah, so if I'm around people and I'm in a good environment, I'll definitely try, and I definitely really enjoyed that. But this year, because I'm in Hong Kong, I feel like Hong Kong is like such a busy pace, and that's the rhythm of Hong Kong. I do that a lot less, and I should. So um I should definitely do some more stretches and stuff and be more healthy. uh Phoenix Fire 291 says yoga is weird, Michael 2021. Love you guys. It's not weird, it's just it's hard for me. We got hoodies. We should get some hoodies, right? Um, yeah, let's get some box money hoodies. We got Ty Webb. Thank you for so much, bro, for becoming a member of Team Crypto. Thank you. Um, Jason Wu says, at Box Money, my friend says he always sees you in GP. GP is super cool. It's like the best hangout place in Hong Kong for crypto dudes, right? That's where I get all my information. And you go upstairs and you get the real information. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. It's been very crazy this week, especially for everything going on. I'm glad you guys are around, and you guys didn't die off because of the little dip that we experienced. And with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And then Smarks Killed Wrestling says, at Boxmining, what color Lambo should I buy? That's a good question. I would say blue. I kind of like blue, but also I think a lot of people, if they really want to be flashy, they go for red. Anything but yellow, I would say. But anyway, so with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today. We should get some hoodies. I'll try to order some hoodies soon, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have the Boxmining shirts that we're giving out, but no hoodies, so we should get that soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. We got also Mark Carter says Caveman #1. Man, those like ice baths, man, they're so good. You should try. You should definitely try. With that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the Boxmining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Boxmining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Boxmining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Boxmining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on a day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video. Oh, sorry, no sound. Yeah, someone said no sound. Yeah. Big thank you for Pacific Unity for becoming OG King, and also Tyler Webb for joining the membership as well. Just want to give you guys a shout out. Also, I'm trying out this camera because this camera seems cool. Been playing around with a lot of video stuff recently just for fun. So this is my cinema camera that the cine camera that I had lying around. I bought it half a year ago, never used it because I was just too busy. But now I'm like, oh, let me try around with the cinema and the film grade stuff. It's just fun. I guess it's like a side hobby. But anyways, I'm trying out this camera. It should be pretty nice. Hopefully, it should look nicer with the lights on. But anyways, we'll try that in a future episode. I'm super excited to show you guys that, and also I'm super excited to be able to stream sitting down. Sometimes it's been an hour setting up, so I'm pretty tired of that. So I'll do some streams in the future sitting down. It'll be fun. And we'll see how things go in the future. And yeah, thanks you guys so much for watching again. We got a question that says, "Great, Grayson Strock says, is Breakout good or bad?" It's super good. Okay, it's super good. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next stream.